I think my dreams might be coming true.
Today, we might have the chance to meet the famous Monopoly Man. He's such a hottie. I want a photo with him.
And he's so rich.
I want some of his money. Lucas and I were in Melbourne, Australia, and I saw that there was a Monopoly Dreams. I wasn't completely sure if it was a theme park, an experience, a museum.
You told me it was a Monopoly theme park, so I was so excited. I was picturing a money roller coaster, getting to actually ride the train that you buy. You know, there's those 4 train stops. I couldn't wait. But then you just took me to the basement of a mall.
Yeah, this is located inside of a mall, and there's only 2 Monopoly Dreams in the world. There's one in Melbourne, Australia, and there's one in Hong Kong. It just looks like you're kind of about to enter a luxury store. Everything is blinged out. Swagger jagger.
So shiny.
Of course, you need to have some photo opportunities outside the experience theme park thing. Oh my gosh, I'm in jail.
I did something bad.
Grab all the money, get rich quick.
Grab the money, it's all going away. It was cool to see all of this in real life because we actually are Monopoly fans. Like, our family is always playing Monopoly. You know, the whole meme, we never finish the game though. No one ever actually finishes a game of Monopoly.
Monopoly, the game never ends because you get in a fight, you find out someone's cheating.
Someone ends up flipping over the board each time.
We need to try the Monopoly Dreams Cafe to fuel up.
It's fun. That's fun.
I would say it is fun.
Right when you walked in, you saw those desserts that were shaped as Monopoly things.
It was just very themed and also very cute. It felt like a paradise for Monopoly fans.
Even in the cafe, you could just tell everything was made for Instagram. Like, this is a photo opportunity type place.
And the menu is very cool because it's themed after the properties on the board. The cheapest items are the cheap properties on the board. For example, the kids menu is the light blue, but then the very expensive items are the dark blue because those are on the expensive part of the board. When we were ordering our food, I did kind of feel like I was flexing because both of us got food on the yellow part of the menu, and that's kind of close to the expensive part of the Monopoly board.
Probably upper middle class, if you take the whole board into consideration. Even the tables look like the properties.
If you don't think there's enough hierarchies in actual life, I think going to the Monopoly Dreams place could really make you feel good about yourself. For example, we were sitting at the yellow table, so I did look over and I saw people that were sitting at the maroon table, and that's the cheaper part of the board, so I was like, you guys are broke!
Brokey!
It was just very fun comparing the different amount of wealth each person had at the restaurant.
I love how we live in a capitalist society, but this experience is just really making us take it in even more. Like, everything's about money. I love money. Money is what's most important.
Money, money, money. It'd be funny in a rich man's world.
Why are you singing that song and not the Fred song about money?
Cash, cash money.
They should have been playing that
You are the
there.
originator of just being obsessed with money.
I know. I've always been about money since day one.
I got the house smash burger. I don't want to flex, but did you see that they put a little property thing on the top and it's dark blue, which is the most expensive properties? Federation Square. That's an actual place in Melbourne, Australia, so they really keep it local. And I got fries and a salad because when you're dining with the Monopoly Man, he does want to live a really tasty life, but also you need to throw in the salad, so hopefully you can try to live to your 100.
Wait, did your meal come with 2 sides?
I actually don't know how it worked, but I think we just were balling that day and just got an extra. I got 2 sides instead of one because it's like you might as well spend it all because doesn't spending money create money or some shit?
You can always make more. That's the beauty. I got the grilled chicken burger, as you can see, with fries and a salad as well. My chicken burger also has a Monopoly card on it, but it's just the chance card. They told Jacob he was rich with his sandwich, but mine is more like, it's time for you to try your luck, and maybe there's a chance you'll make it.
We were just eating bite after bite, and I kind of just felt like we were the richest man in the world. I just really got inspired to create like a Ponzi scheme and scam a bunch of people and then leave the country and not pay taxes. And then like if they do try to make me pay taxes, like stole my tax money in the Cayman Islands or something. I felt like I wanted to get rich in a scammer way.
That's how every billionaire does it.
I'm not paying taxes. That's for poor people. That's what I felt like eating the burger.
And that's what this whole entire place was emanating.
Then I had to go to the bathroom, and I was really hoping that it was themed, and I wasn't let down. There was tiles that were the colors of the board. There was a chance door, and the toilet seat was blue.
I went in there as well, and I just realized I didn't sit on the toilet, but I was going to say that's the first time I ever sat on a blue toilet seat, but I didn't sit on it since I have a penis, so I pee standing up.
Well, crap!
Now that we were all fueled, it was time to hit the actual Monopoly theme park!
So you enter, you pay the bill, which is $39 for adults.
They told us it was time to go to Mr. Monopoly's mansion. We were going to be able to step foot in his house that he built with all of his wealth that he's accumulated throughout his life. They called it a mansion, but I guess it's a mansion in the sky because we had to take an elevator to get up there. It is just TV screens on each side, but it kind of gave the illusion that you were actually moving.
And then they opened the doors, and the employee said, Mr. Monopoly has something to tell you. And there was this TV screen. He was talking to us.
He basically was just telling us to get our bands up, right?
Welcoming us to his home. And he also did say that our dreams might come true. There's a bunch of photos of him. He's a little bit narcissistic, you could say.
Yeah, it's sort of like going into Paris Hilton's house. Doesn't she have all these photos of herself? He has some photos with his dog, but for the most part, it seems like he's alone in most of the photos. Because you know what they say, it's lonely at the top. Also, it's not disclosed, like, does he have a family? Like, it's kind of giving the vibe that he has a secret husband and he doesn't want to come out. Because why isn't he showing it? It gives the vibe of there's a few sugar babies hiding in those seats behind him on the private jet, but they had to duck for the photo. Even though we all think of him as the billionaire he is now, they did have photos of him before his wealth. Here's him fixing a car. They placed that there to show, like, at one time, he was just a regular Joe like us.
That was very inspiring. Of course, after seeing all these photos, you want to become him. So they have his outfit. You can put it all on, take photos. And did you know that Mr. Monopoly has an actual name?
Wait.
Melbourne Punny Bags.
Oh, Melbourne.
Then you enter a Monopoly museum. All these different versions of Monopoly over the years.
All the different editions, how it's evolved.
Why haven't they created Monopoly Sex Work Edition?
Your foot fetish website is popping off. Get $300 from the bank. Draw another chance card and it would say, your body type and face is not in this year. Lose $500. They had a little quiz that you could fill out and it would tell you what Monopoly piece you are. It was sort of a personality quiz. And I got the car, which means you have endless energy to complete a goal. People love your drive. Ain't that right?
And the Monopoly museum kept going. I was kind of bored, but I did notice that they did have a Monopoly Pizza edition. All of us hungry boys need to buy that edition. There was this screen of the Monopoly game that gave you hints for your next game of Monopoly.
I'll get some little hacks on how to win.
Going to the Monopoly Dreams theme park actually will help you in your next Monopoly game.
Oh, cha-chang, cha-chang.
Then we left this area and it leads to the 4D cinema.
The first ride at the theme park, if you will.
We entered the theater and they let us know that we can't film the video because Mr. Monopoly is very strict. So we don't have a video of what they showed us, but it was basically just one of those things what showed Mr. Monopoly Man going down slides and jumping off things, and then your seat would move. move, water squirted in your face. It was probably like 8 minutes, and I did enjoy the whole thing. It was like, whoa, I had fun. Thanks, Mr. Monopoly.
I remember you said after, I want to watch a full movie in a 4D theater after this. I watched it in a 4D theater, and it was so much fun. Because like it was just cool, like whenever it rained in the movie, it rained on you, and they kept smacking your back whenever something scary happened.
At the very end of the video at the cinema, Mr. Monopoly said, "And now, welcome to Monopoly City." So we've seen his mansion, but now we get to see Monopoly City.
We didn't take an elevator down, though. So it actually wasn't cohesive. That's a plot hole. So we traveled up. Is the city in the sky?
I guess the city would be in the sky.
What? We actually never went down from the elevator.
Are we still in Monopoly Land?
And I'm just scared. They need to have something that gets you out of it.
There's a bunch of areas that are themed after parts of the Monopoly board. First of all, we're gonna go to the jail.
Which is where you go if you ever speak out against Mr. Monopoly Man. I do like how in the board game, you just get sent to jail for no reason. They never give a reason, which kind of showcases that in real life that happens too. Like people are jailed and they didn't do anything wrong.
There's this game where you go inside of the jail cell. I went inside because Lucas thought the door actually locked, but the door actually doesn't lock. So it's not that serious. It's more just like, hello, answer a few questions. Well, not answer a few questions. It's basically a mini escape room. And I was trying to solve the code, but after like 2 minutes, I was like, I just don't like escape rooms, so I'm gonna leave.
I think they should actually lock you in there, though, because otherwise, who's going to take this escape room thing seriously? Like, there were other people there, and they were all taking it seriously, but I could tell nobody was giving it their all because nobody was actually locked. Or if you were actually chained up and they're unlocked, you wouldn't have said, oh, I don't like escape rooms, I'm going to quit. You would have had to do it or else you'd be stuck in there. Okay, so here is a review of Monopoly Man's jail if you ever get stuck here. The bed isn't that comfy, but it is good they don't make you sleep on the floor. You have your own toilet, and you even have a sink so you could still do your face routine. It could be kind of cute to get that one. I think that might have been the suite, though.
There's a lot of parts of this theme park that are basically just photo opportunities. For example, this part of the jail, there was a bunch of costumes to put on, but we just decided to not put those on. I went to jail for stealing Mr. Monopoly's diamond.
Oh! Just so you guys know, this height stuff is wrong, so I'm not lying that I'm 6'5". Like, I think something was off with this one. I just don't want anyone to try to expose me. I went to jail for stealing 10 million.
Funny how we go to prison for stealing stuff, but then Mr. Monopoly Man would steal stuff and get away with it. This was probably the least entertaining part of the theme park.
I mean, I was saying earlier, I want to go on the railroad because that's a big part of Monopoly, and I guess this is that, I guess.
There wasn't even a game or anything to play, but there was an outfit that I didn't put on, and I didn't even put the cap on my head because I just assumed a bunch of little kids had lice that put it on before me.
They should have had you step in a room and then, like the elevator, the walls were TV screens and it looked like you were on a train. Maybe the budget just wasn't there for that. I feel like that was definitely on the mood board originally. Maybe they didn't make this thinking a 31-year-old was going to be reviewing it, but like I don't get the point of it, and it's not enough for me.
For me personally, I've gotten over photo opportunities. Maybe if this was 2016, I'd be like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna post all these photos, but I just don't get enjoyment from taking photos like this. So maybe a lot of people do, but I just personally don't.
Monopoly Ultimate Banking.
I've always wanted to do this ever since Matilda, when the mom was watching that show. Get sticky with Mickey, where they go into that little booth, money's flying around, they put like honey on you or something, and money gets stuck to you. And this is basically gonna come to life today, my dream.
I know, we get to be in a booth while money blows around and we can grab whatever we want.
So I went inside of it, and after like 10 seconds, I started to realize, like, wait, why am I putting in so much effort? Because it's not even real money. I think it would be cool. Now, I know you're spending money to get into this theme park. It'd be kind of cool if they put coins in there. So maybe put a few pennies in there so it feels like I'm actually owning something.
The kids were probably tricked into thinking it was real. But you notice that there weren't even that many kids there? It seemed like it was mostly just like adults and stuff.
It was a mix of everyone. Because I guess when you think about Monopoly, everyone just loves it. This was kind of cool, but again, I want actual money, so maybe like throw some 20s in there next time. And
Yeah,
actual money.
2% of the money in there was real money.
Yeah.
And you didn't know what amount was, you know? It honestly was fun being in there with the fan blowing, though. It kind of gave a Marilyn Monroe effect.
Now we're entering the electric company. We really are seeing every part of the city. It's making me realize, like, wait, I haven't even seen the electric company in the city I actually live in, but it's cool that I get to see the one in Monopoly City, I guess.
So they're showing everything.
There was games in this area. I didn't really get what the games were, but then I read the instructions, and basically you just had to keep jumping or pounding on this little circle on the ground to power the skyscrapers in the city. And unfortunately, even though I tried my hardest, I couldn't fully power the skyscrapers.
I had the advantage of watching Jacob go first, so I actually did power my whole city.
No, you still had one little cube left, so you didn't?
So we both would have been sent to jail. That's the sad thing, is they're making it a fun game, but in actual Monopoly City, there's people that's their job, and if they don't accomplish the goal of powering the city, they probably give them the death penalty.
Yeah.
Time to visit the plumbing center. It stunk like shit in here.
What if it actually did? This is when I kind of realized, like, oh, this theme park experience thing is kind of dumb, because this is just a game I would play on my iPhone in 2014. It's the classic thing where, like, there's a bunch of pipes coming from the top of the screen and you have to place them in the right areas so the pipes will work efficiently. And I will admit, like, yes, like, my serotonin was going up. I was having fun, but it was like, why did I pay money to go here? I could have just downloaded the app that I downloaded back in the day.
Yeah, you're basically playing Temple Run, but it costs $38. Again, I played it second, so I got to watch Jacob's mistakes, and I beat him. Just want to put that out there.
Why are you sucking up to Mr. Monopoly so much? It's just kind of gross. You're so desperate.
I kept having this fantasy that he was watching how good I was doing and how good of a boy I was. and he was going to recruit me to maybe work for him.
When you're in Monopoly City, obviously there's a newspaper stand and a bunch of magazines. This is when it fully hit me. Wait, we're living in a dictatorship, because the newspaper, the magazines, they're only about him. He's controlling the media.
Full-on propaganda.
I just started to get grossed out and I wanted to leave this society.
He's such an insecure small man that nobody else can be on the cover of a magazine besides him, or he feels threatened.
One of the biggest parts was the laser experience.
Is this like, are we doing crime in this? I forgot how this tied into Monopoly. Like, are we trying to get to money at the end, or? Yeah, I guess there is like a safe over there.
I'm not completely sure, but I think we're just trying to like get rich with Monopoly Man money. I don't know.
The lady who was working this, like, you could tell she was kind of like making, like, she wasn't making fun of us, but she was like, oh, try your best and you can do it. But like, she was like, why are you guys here?
And I honestly was enjoying the laser experience, but then I looked out and there was an entire family, a mom and a dad and 2 kids, looking at me with the biggest smiles, being like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to go on after you. And I just had to stop playing, because I was like, why am I taking this laser game away from this family that's probably gonna have way more fun than we're having? So I couldn't really actually do the laser game, but I'm glad it was there.
I felt like I was in the Britney Spears Toxic music video when she does this. I feel like that's what I was giving. Don't you bet? Don't you bet even if I didn't say that, people would have commented that? We then entered another area that was just full of, again, iPhone apps from 2012. But it does make it cool how you're playing on a big screen instead of your phone.
I was just embracing it and trying to win the game. Then this kid like tried to help me, and this is when I was like, I'm actually pathetic. I'm 23, and this kid that's probably, let's just say 10, is trying to help me because I'm that bad at the game.
And he thought you needed his advice. He couldn't stand to see you continue to flop at the game.
That was the lowest point of the Monopoly experience. Now we're on the chance part of the board. You have the chance to own it all. I want to own all of the buildings, all of the people, all of the streets.
All the magazines.
I want to own everyone's brain so I control their thoughts.
What? This is so funny.
This was actually just a matching game. I didn't match any of them, and Lucas matched everything. So you ended up owning everything. How did it feel?
Felt good, and I was just, again, hoping Mr. Monopoly would see how good I was doing.
There was a carnival. Everyone loves the yearly carnival. There's a few games, and if you end up winning the games, you get a prize, aka like a stuffed animal or something.
So the first game was they give you a few balls. You see if you can get it on this path to the end. I actually got a couple of mine in. Jacob got none.
When we were done with this game, they actually rang a bell because you did so good.
I know, that's when I was really getting excited. Like, is that bell to tell Mr. Monopoly about me, maybe?
Maybe he's gonna come down and say, like, can you walk with me, Saul?
And he'd reveal that he's gay and he's like Hugh Hefner and he had multiple boyfriends and I could maybe be one of them.
The next carnival game was having a bunch of balls again, and you try to land them on these M's. I did land one ball on one of the red M's, but they didn't ring a bell for me. So I don't think Mr. Monopoly really likes me.
I flopped at this one, so I didn't get any bell rings either. Next, we had a little beanbag toss moment. You had to land it on the circles. I got one. Did I get another?
No.
Are you sure you weren't filming it?
No, you just got one on.
Are you sure it was off camera though that I got more?
No. These were the most stupid games, but I was wondering at the end, like, wait, Lucas won a few, but we didn't get a prize.
I think you had to win each one to get a prize.
Oh, okay. So we didn't win enough. So there's no
Yeah.
prizes that were handed to us.
All those iPhone apps we were playing, there was no point to them, right? Like this one, at least there was a potential prize.
That's true.
The other ones were just literally for no reason. Meaningless.
Whereas with these ones, it's like, if I win, I get a stuffed animal? That's cool.
Yes, from Temu.
This is kind of the grand finale of the Monopoly theme park experience. You scan your receipt or whatever, and you get to print your own property.
You get your own property, a Monopoly official property.
I was immediately sad when mine came out because I got the cheapest property on the board, the brown properties.
I know if you secure those while playing Monopoly, it means literally nothing.
This just really made my self-esteem even worse than it already is. Even though I was mad, I still stamped it, so it's official.
I was excited because I got orange, which I'm pretty sure is the second most fancy, or actually like the fourth most fancy, right? Oh yeah, I just exaggerated a lot.
That's kind of at the beginning of the board.
It's middle class. It's, that's obviously good, but I did want to be in the rich neighborhood, but I got a middle class one, but at least I wasn't so broke like Jacob.
And then there's a photo booth so you can just fully pose like a millionaire. And this was the busiest part of the whole thing. People were taking their time because you could add things in, like graphics. You could not edit the photos, but retake the photos. We had to wait for like 5 minutes because people were taking this photo booth very seriously.
And there was 2 people in front of us, and no hate to them, but yeah, they kept redoing it, and then they'd look at it and laugh, and it's like, have you never fucking taken a fucking photo of yourself? Like, it isn't that fucking cool.
People are enjoying this experience too much.
I know, like, why are they having fun?
It's all about making money, not having fun.
I know.
They have a bunch of props so you can just fully get swaggered up. We actually did what we just complained about. I think we retook the photo like 5 times.
Once we were in the photo booth, I understood the people. Like, yes, it's annoying waiting, but once you're in the photo booth, you just get lost in this trance and you're like, oh my God, look at us on the screen. Oh my God, we're on the screen. Let's take photos. Look at us. Oh my God, us. Look at us. Look at us.
Living in Monopoly City is quite funny because they blurred our skin. Everything was snatched. They don't want you to know what you look like so you don't get all mad and stuff.
And I'm surprised at the DMV in real life they don't blur your face because they don't want to depress people. Because if we're so used to face filters on everything, it'll be kind of depressing if your driver's license also didn't have a face filter.
They also had this section with a few games that you had to pay extra for, which we didn't do because we don't want to spend any more money at Monopoly City and make the Mr. Monopoly Man even richer than he already is.
No, it's like we already spent all this money to do this. Now they want us to spend more money on these games. And then didn't we walk out and then we were in a gift shop where they wanted us to spend more money? Girl, how much money do you want us to spend? I mean, I guess it makes sense. You're going into capitalism, the theme park. Obviously, it's going to all be about buying shit because Mr. Monopoly Man has to get rich, more rich.
Overall, this isn't really a theme park. It's more of an experience. And I guess you did get to see all of Monopoly City.
It's perfect for a mall because I could picture people, they went into the mall, they got some clothes, but they're like, you know what? We don't want to go home just yet. So they just go through this thing. Like, I feel like it actually makes sense in a mall. Like, you leave and you're like, what? But it was like, oh.
Yeah, it isn't the most fun thing in the world, but I didn't like absolutely hate it, you know?
Yeah, I feel like the movie was kind of the standout to me where I was like, okay, we saw cinema at least.
That was probably my favorite part of the whole thing too.
Mm-hmm.
And I did leave thinking like, wait, I actually get why people want to get rich. I want to get so rich. Money, money, money. That's all I could think about leaving this theme park.
And I want to have so much money that I can go up to someone and see their cute dog and say, it's mine now. And throw a bunch of $100 bills in their face and say, don't even try it. I'll sue you. You'll end up in jail.
Monopoly dream.